My favorite part of being a teacher is watching young people press forward and try to make something out of themselves. My inspiration for becoming an auto tech teacher was the fact that I graduated from this program in 1989, and I remember the fun that I had in auto tech, and I remember the challenges, and it was a great process, and I really wanted to be a part of that for the upcoming future.
Honestly, just play soccer, spread the love of soccer, compete, in a healthy, positive environment, and honestly just spread the love of soccer. It's one of those sports that anybody can play, anybody can try, and it's one of those where I feel like if you spend a lot of time playing it or even try it out, you grow to kind of love it.
We're a community of welcoming, a community of accepting different backgrounds, so giving it your all, trying your best, especially when it comes to the acting side of things. Some people may have stage fright or may not be used to performing on stage. Theater gives people that opportunity, that confidence to succeed. So trying different things and taking risks is super important when it comes to theater arts.
We've done a lot of things this year to champion attendance, if you will, and we want all of our students to strive for less than 5 days out of school. I think building better relationships with students here at school will encourage kids to be here more.
I'm Ethan Atkins.
I'm Wes De Leon.
I'm Kasim Wilhite.
I am Athena LaRose.
I'm Diego Munoz. And this is a story on 20 minutes. Hello, my name is Diego Munoz, and today we're going to talk about our school's class departments. Ethan will interview our auto tech teacher about how they can fix and work on cars and what the students in auto tech do. So let's dive down and see what he has for us from auto tech.
Auto tech is one of the many programs at school that help students with a future career, teaching students about car fundamentals and hands-on learning such as changing tires, oil changes, and much more. We'll be talking to Mr. Wilson and a fellow student about it, finding the ins and outs of the program. What is your favorite part of being a teacher?
My favorite part of being a teacher is watching young people press forward and try to make something out of themselves.
What inspired or made you decide to become an auto tech teacher?
My inspiration for becoming an auto tech teacher was the fact that I graduated from this program in 1989, and I remember the fun that I had in auto tech, and I remember the challenges, and it was a great process, and I really wanted to be a part of that for the upcoming future.
How do you balance textbook learning with hands-on learning?
So basically the textbook learning goes on in the first level course in the classroom. Once you become a second and third year student, you're forced to work hands-on every day that you're in here. And I try to only resort back to the textbook when we need a refresher or to go over glossary terms or something like that.
What is the biggest struggle when teaching for you in auto tech?
Biggest challenge I would say that I face in auto tech here is having levels of learning being at different paces, different ethnic backgrounds and languages that we have to learn to accommodate. It's challenging. There's a lot of different people in the room.
How is safety ensured in the classroom workplace?
In the first level course, there's a safety contract we sign. We also take a safety test. We ensure safety by practicing everything we've studied in the book and we've learned on our test throughout the whole 3 years we're in the classroom. If for some reason somebody jeopardizes safety or takes a chance, we all go back to the classroom and we revisit that area. We make sure every day that we're practicing safety skills.
Mr. Wilson's methods always ensure the best for his students, maintaining the best and most optimal procedures during class time. We move on to our fellow student Evan, who will enlighten us on what he loves about the class and what he does. Why did you choose auto tech?
I joined auto tech because I was interested in the program. It gave me better opportunities for getting into an auto shop job, which will help me in my future. Also, it's just good knowing about cars. Like if your car breaks down while you're driving, you gotta know how to change your tire.
What is your favorite part of the class?
My favorite part of the class is the hands-on action we get. We have many customer cars come through. We don't just have donated cards. which gives us more opportunity to just work on them. And we get in there, like real in there. It's not just like a oil change or replace a tire. We're like doing whole engines, and like it's always nice to just work on a job.
What is your biggest challenge during class time?
My biggest challenge when it comes to auto tech is trying to find a job. A lot of times I'm walking around, you know, when that's pretty crowded. It gets pretty crowded around cars because most people are surrounded by, like, there's only a few cars in here that we can do, and there's so many students. And so the biggest challenge is just trying to find something to do. Given you will still be able to do something weekly, you just gotta put yourself through it, and then you can get past that obstacle.
If you had to convince someone to join auto tech, what would you say?
Honestly, it's about the experience you get and learning what to do with a car if it breaks down. If you go to a dealership or an auto shop to get it fixed, you won't be confused on all what they're saying. Or you can also get a job in this field. All in all, it's a good thing to join. I recommend it highly. It can be a 3-year program, especially whenever you get to Auto Tech 2. It lasts for 2 blocks, more chances to work on cars, and you go from the lower level stuff to a higher level stuff. But even just taking Auto Tech 1, you still learn a lot.
The class remains intuitive and a great learning space for students, prioritizing safety and keeping the area professional. Nonetheless, Auto Tech is a great place to gain experience and prepare your students for their future.
Next, Wes will interview the soccer coach from our soon-to-be North Stafford High School soccer team. So let's go and see what's in store.
Continuing on this part for 20 minutes, I'll be interviewing Coach Suarez about the North Stafford Soccer Conditioning Program, which trains our athletes to their best shape and performance ahead of tryouts.
Honestly, just play soccer, spread the love of soccer, compete, in a healthy, positive environment, and honestly just spread the love of soccer. It's one of those sports that anybody can play, anybody can try, and it's one of those where I feel like if you spend a lot of time playing it or even try it out, you grow to kind of love it. I would say the biggest difference right out the gate is that soccer is not my main sport. Football was. Soccer was actually my third sport. So when it comes to things like training, when it comes to things like off-season programs, preparation, things like that, there's a difference in responsibilities and there's a difference in expectations, right? I know there's quite a few programs where they believe that you just kind of show up, you play the game, you watch film when you watch film. Not here. Here we take this seriously. All right, we're here to have fun. We're here to enjoy the game, but we are here to compete. And that can be very different from other programs in the fact that preparation starts almost a week before the actual game itself.
From endurance to physicality, the goal is to build complete players who can compete at a high level from the first minute to the 90th. And by focusing on winning and being the best out of all the other schools, this program already separates itself from other schools by its competitive mentality and drive.
We started a lot earlier. Last year we started around, I'd say Halloween. Actually, it was around this time was when we started it. It was very basic stuff. It was basically cone drills, conditioning, so like running a mile or running for 20 minutes, and then playing soccer. Now we're actually in the weight room. We're actually doing our hex bar lifts. We're doing our bench presses. We're doing our squats, front and back. It's a lot more full body. We're looking at not only making our players better in terms of their technical skill, but physically more fit than they were when they started. Our numbers have gone up. We started with, I think that first day in weight room, we had about, I want to say 11 guys. The most recent weight room that we did was about 26. And then on the Saturdays when we actually go out and we play like scrimmages and stuff, we're looking at about 38. So the numbers have definitely gone up in terms of the actual ability to lift and work out. Our running could be better. I'm noticing that a lot of the guys don't run in the off season. So when we did our first 20-minute run, Quite a few of them struggled to run the whole time. They struggled. They had to stop or take a break. So we're going to have to work on that. But the first day to now, a lot of the boys who went into the weight room couldn't do the bar or could do the bar in 5 pounds. And now we're looking at bar plus about 15, 20 pounds. So we're already seeing that growth in terms of what exactly they can lift, which is a positive.
Each year is always another year of improvement, but this year changes a greater emphasis on recovery, efficiency, and building discipline during the off-season. But progress doesn't happen in one day, it builds over time. From improvements in stamina to improved strength and confidence, these are steps taken during the first couple weeks of conditioning.
Well, when it comes to the weight room, it's lower body. It's lower body and core. So, you know, you have your core in the front, your abs, your side muscles, but also your back that help to stabilize your lower body with your legs, thighs, calves, feet, things like that. Upper body's not too important. You know, being able to bench press like 300 pounds doesn't really help you in soccer that much. In terms of other workouts with drills, a lot of footwork, a lot of agility, a lot of first touch stuff. That's definitely something we're going to be focusing on, especially when we start getting the field more often. You know, when football wraps up and nobody else is going to be outside, you know, we're going to work on a lot of first touch drills, a lot of passing drills, things like that. In North Stafford, the most dangerous person in our philosophy should be the person without the ball, right? The person with the ball is the facilitator. Like we want the people who don't have it to be the most dangerous because it's impossible to cover all of them. So that's kind of what we focus on the most. Keep up with the best. I don't compare them to the best. The best players will be the best players regardless. Our top 10 players are going to be the top 10 now and when we get to work, tryouts in February and when the season starts in March. What instead I try to do is I try to do personal. Right? Where did you reach us? Where were you at when you got to us? And where are you going to be at when we officially try out in February? That's kind of the focus that I have, because if you compare yourself to other players, then you will never be good enough, because there's always going to be somebody who's better than you, right? But instead, growth is a personal journey. And that's how I approach it, because you would be surprised how much people can jump when they're not worried about what the person next to them is lifting, you know, something like that. So that's kind of how I handle individuals, is I try to keep it individual.
These workouts aren't just focusing on sprinting to improve stamina, but also combine in-game movement and players training their bodies to perform well under pressure. So conditioning isn't just a mental challenge, but a physical one too. While players push through fatigue, staying focused and trusting the process, these are some of the toughest challenges they have to overcome. But let's see another perspective from a player like Edwin. Can you introduce yourself and explain your role on the soccer team?
My name is Edwin Boabing. I'm 16 years old, and I'm not on the soccer team, but I'm trying out. Yeah.
How do you think conditioning is going out for you?
I mean, conditioning, you know, everything's good. You go to conditioning every day. I mean, not every day. Well, sometimes we used to do it every day, but like, you know, since it's been snowing, we don't go as much anymore. But when we did, we would go every day. The point of conditioning is to get better and to help players to get back in shape for their soccer season. So yeah, it's been going good.
That's good. What's the hardest part of the conditioning program?
The hardest part is probably the running and probably team coordination, like when you're playing, like coordination. But like that's the reason why we are conditioning and working out, is to, like, you feel me, get more in tune with each other come the soccer season.
Is it more physically challenging or mentally challenging? And if so, why?
I feel like it's a mix of both, but it's more mental, because if you don't have the mindset to, you know, show up, if you don't have the mindset to keep going, if you don't have the mindset to, you know, just trust yourself, then you won't be able to, like, survive. You won't be able to, like, get through it. So as long as you have a good mindset and your body is ready, then you'll survive. You'll be good.
How would you describe the impact of the conditioning program on you as a player?
It definitely made me a better player, skillfully and physically, and the players around me pushed me to be better. Like, mostly not intentionally, but sometimes intentionally. Like, you ask around to see what you can do to be a better player. But like as you play with better players that are better than you, then you feel me develop. So yeah.
You know, social media and going viral. You know, everybody's chasing the bicycle kick. Everybody's chasing the scorpion kick or that clean header or the game-winning shot, right? Everybody wants that, but those come once, maybe twice a season. What the important part is when it comes to improving your performance is the day by day, all right? How much am I running? How much am I eating? Am I lifting? Am I doing the small things better? Because the small things are what build up to the big overall performance. Your time will come when you can do the big stuff, but it's the small stuff that will get you there.
But as the season approaches, the work done here lays a statement on players who want to improve every day. Conditioning isn't just preparation, but the first step to commitment and success on and off the field.
Kasim will be interviewing Mr. Shores, the theater arts teacher, and help us understand what the students are doing for theater. Let's take a look and find the answers from Kasim.
We'll be talking to Mr. Shores, the director of the school's new play, Percy Jackson's Lightning Thief. We'll be talking about what he looks for in actors, why students and families should see the play, advice for aspiring actors, and his favorite parts of directing.
My name is Tyler Shores. I'm the theater teacher and technical director here at North Stafford.
When looking for an actor's best fit, Mr. Shores searches for traits of the characters in the auditioning cast. Once found, he considers them for a callback for a chance to participate in the real play. With the play coming out, Mr. Shores hopes that people's memories of the series will compel them to see the show. Let's hear what he thinks about the sense of nostalgia he hopes to instill in the viewers of this play.
Well, we look for primarily how does this actor in particular fit the character. With our musical coming up for The Lightning Thief, there are specific attributes and characteristics that these characters have. So we try to audition for who can play the best out of that character. I think Percy Jackson has an iconic storyline. A lot of families and people are familiar with the Percy Jackson novels. They probably watched or read them growing up. So giving people that opportunity, I think, is super important. And I think it just suits our community well. And yeah, like I said, I think it fits our community well. We are trying to get a lot of our student population back into plays and musicals, and I think this is a fun story that everybody is familiar with, maybe grew up with, and it kind of gives that nostalgia effect. So I think that's the main reason why.
Because of Percy Jackson's huge influence on people's childhoods, Mr. Shores thinks that the play would convince the student body to show up to more of the school's productions. He thinks it would be a good idea to have it done in the school because of the sense of nostalgia students would get from watching it would make it a great show to attend. Now that we've seen what Mr. Shores thinks about the play, let's see what advice he has for beginning actors and other theater arts students.
Students who are interested in theater arts, the best advice I could give them is we're a community of welcoming, a community of accepting different backgrounds. So giving it your all, trying your best, especially when it comes to the acting side of things. Some people may have stage fright or may not be used to performing on stage. Theater gives people that opportunity, that confidence to succeed. So trying different things and taking risks is super important when it comes to theater arts.
After giving his best advice to any upcoming rising stars who wish to enter the film industry, Mr. Shores would love to tell us about his favorite parts about being the director for The Lightning Thief.
My favorite part about being a director is mainly about the process of it all. The fact that we get to create a show from just pages onto a script to actually performing it on stage is my favorite part, and the fact that all of our students put the time, the effort, and the dedication to creating something special, I think is worthwhile, and that's why I think makes our shows come to life.
Thank you to Mr. Shores for sharing some of his time to talk with us about the directing of his play, The Lightning Thief. I hope students and families will see this nostalgic show and come to enjoy any other school productions we have in the future.
Finally, Athiana will interview our high school principal, Dr. Turner, to see updated attendance rates, how students in our school can respect their time and make sure that students are motivated to come to class.
Here in many public schools, there has been an epidemic of chronic absenteeism. Chronic absenteeism has affected student performance skills and has led to questions on the best methods to keep students in school. We are here with the principal, Dr. Turner, as he has been tracking these events. This is an update on chronic absenteeism rates and the measures to boost student attendance morale.
Attendance is vitally important to student success in the building. We need kids to come to school every day so they can take part in the instruction that teachers have provided, as it is every day is a follow-up from a previous lesson. Everything is connected. And so when students miss school, they will have gaps in their learning. And if they don't intentionally work to make up missed assignments or do things after school to help close the gaps with teachers like tutoring, then those gaps prolong. And so at the end of the year, when they have SOL test or some benchmark, they're not going to be able to do their best, right? So in order to do their best, we need kids to come to school every day.
This is the updated standing on all grades attendance rates so far.
The freshman class is sitting at about 16%. The sophomore class is sitting at about 19 to 20%. The junior class was sitting at about 17 to 18%. And my senior class is at 23%, which is very disappointing.
These are some of the encouraging methods the school has been using to keep students in school.
I think building better relationships with students here at school will encourage kids to be here more. That's why you see me out and about all the time. You see me in the hallways. You see me at lunch. I want to establish relationships, but those relationships start in the classroom. That's why teachers always are trying to develop engaging lessons for kids, because we know if we can engage you in the classroom, you're more likely to come to school each and every day.
Dr. Turner has also found many other ways to help close the gap for students that are chronically absent.
We have what we call attendance recovery. Attendance recovery is every Monday through Thursday, 2:15 to 4:15, with a few of our teachers present to provide supervision, but also to support for students who are making up seat time, and tutoring opportunities that teachers provide every day after school that typically lasts about an hour also counts towards attendance recovery.
There are also many student activities that also help keep students in school.
Some other things that we do to combat, we celebrate kids. I don't know if you saw the pizza party that we had for all of our kids who had earned perfect attendance. We've given away gift cards. We've had donations from local businesses to provide gifts for students. We've done the block parties that typically happen in fourth block for kids who have demonstrated improved attendance. So we've done a lot of things this year to champion attendance, if you will, and we want all of our students to strive for less than 5 days out of school.
Here we have one of the students who comes to school every day, sharing his reasons for coming to school.
It's for my friends and for lunch. But yeah, it's also just to play basketball here too. Making your parents proud and like showing that you can do your best and whenever you don't feel like it.
Here is a heartfelt message Dr. Turner would like to share with the students.
I love you guys. I want to see you win, and let me know what you need.
Attendance has been an important part of the learning structure, participation, and success of students, not only in schools but also in their futures. If you can keep coming to school, these habits can be built. I'm Athiana LaRose, reporting for 20 Minutes.
Because of all these departments in our school, students can come to class and be motivated. So that's all for today. I'm Diego Munoz, and you're watching these stories tonight on 20 Minutes.